Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. We are still looking at the command manager. And the command manager, still we go ahead and divide it into the sketch. So we are looking at different modifiers, different tools under the sketch. And then in this tutorial we are going to be looking at the tool that is called the trim entity and the extend. They are right here. So right now they are still inactive because we haven't reached the level of using them, but as we proceed, as we go on with our sketch, they will become activated. So I'll first select the front plane, then sketch. This is where I want my sketch to be, so a location is so important. Always remember that. So in the trim entities, we have trim, stroke, extend, and when we click on the trim, we see different formats. We have the power trim, corner trim, trim away inside, trim away outside, then trim closest. So we are going to look at all these 4 methods of trimming. Rather, there are 5. The 5 methods of trimming. Yes, and we shall follow this very order that they have here. So I'll do something. Say I'll select my line. I draw something like this, just for demonstration. So assuming I have this as my sketch, I would like to trim some of the entities that I have, some of the sketches that I have, so that I remain with something like this only. So using the power trim, I'll come here and under trim, then I select power trim, this one here. So for the power trim, what it does is that it follows the movement of your mouse near the sketch. So as you're moving your mouse while pressing the left button, the left click button, you're trimming. So left click, then drag. See? So it can be interval dragging or constant dragging. So what it does is that it will trim to the next joint. It will trim only to the next joint. See? Click, then drag, click, then drag, click, drag, only to the next point. Trim, then drag. So you will remain with something like this. That's the power trim. It is so important, at least if you know how to use it, then it may not be so much necessary to know all the other 4, but as a matter of fact of knowing each and every method, we shall look at them. You never know, we have different tests. So that has been the power trim. I repeat once more, left click, then drag. As you're dragging, it will trim to the next joint, it will trim to the next joint, and it will trim away where you've passed. See? So that has been the power trim. Right now we are going to go to the next one, next method, that is the corner trim. So for us to understand the corner trim, let me delete this. First, understand the corner trim. I'll still make a simple sketch on the front. Remember, whatever you do in SolidWorks, you need the location of your sketch. That's why it will always ask for a plane, or a point, or a face where you can at least start your sketch from. Yes, so here we are. What we are going to try out now is the corner trim. So corner trim, assuming you have something like this, then like this. So you will come here and say trim, then corner trim. So what you select, if you select this and that will remain, and you will delete the rest. So it's basically following that, the symbol, that when I select this and this will remain, to delete away the rest. See, let me repeat this once more. Trim entity, click that and this to trim away what has remained. Yeah, so all the three that are coming up next will almost follow the same trend, that whatever I'm clicking is what I need, then what remains, it's what I need. Whatever that I've not selected will go. So still I'm going to do another sketch to demonstrate the other two that are next in the line. I'm going to draw. So whatever I'm doing here applies to the curves, the spline, to any other shape. Yeah, but I prefer to use lines while demonstrating this. So you can now come and have your line here. You can have some other lines like that. Another line. Okay. You can have one here like so, halfway, then the other there. The other can come up to there, while the other can come like so. Then like that. So these lines, these methods of trimming apply to any other sketch. Say it's a polygon, it's a different shape, it's a star, they apply to that also. So I'll use this to demonstrate the trim outside and trim inside. So what basically the trim inside means that when I select at least a boundary, so I select this and that, then whatever I've selected will remain, and what I'll click next, so I select this and that, those are my defaults. That's what I need to remain. So whatever I'll click, my third click will now be trimming off each part that is inside. And for the trim away outside is the opposite. When I click this and this, whatever that I click now on the outside will take away whatever is lying on the outside of the object that I selected as my limits. So we shall try out using this. For example, trim away the inside. So if I want to trim away the inside, I can come and click this, then this. So the third part that I'll click will trim away whatever that is inside. So this does not intersect with this, that's why it has remained. However, this was part of the first line, it has also remained. See? So what I'm going to do next, maybe before it was like this, then I came and selected trim entity. So trim away inside, maybe for versatility and for us to understand it better, trim away the inside. So at first I had selected this and this, but we are limited in terms of the parts that are intersecting each other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider this and this, since we have a variety of inside lines here. So having selected these are now like the limits that I should be having at the end of my trim. So whatever that I'll click inside will go. Sorry, it will go. So these have not been intersecting, that's why they are remaining. These have been intersecting. So whatever has remained means that it was not intersecting the original, so it was not in connection. Just like we trimmed off the first part when we did this and this one went, but we could not do any other trim because the other parts, this was not closed or was not directly connected to this one. Yeah, so the other part, trim away the outside. So still using these very parts, let us see, they are trimming away outside this. Let us see, we are trimming away whatever is outside, whatever that is outside these two lines. However, you notice that as we are trimming, some lines were extending. Yeah, so the trim entity is 2-in-1. It has got the trim entity, but when you drop down, it has also got the extend command. Yeah, but for now, since we are still looking at the trim, we are going to look at it. Then after that, we shall also try out some few examples in the extend. See, so having had this, I can also select trim away inside. So when I come and say trim away inside, I expect this to go. No, it's not going. See, okay, that's gone. Then this one, these ones were not originally intersecting the two, so they are not going, but this one has to go. It's originally intersecting the two, even this one. So maybe I can use this chance to show us what the extend entity means. So extend entity is basically continuing one of the lines. Say if I want to extend this line, I'll come here and left click, it will extend automatically. I'll also come here and say it will extend automatically, assuming I add another line here that comes and stops there halfway. So for me to extend entity, I'll just come here and extend it like that. So from here, I have this. What I can decide to do is still to come here, then trim entity, and I say trim away outside, but we have nothing outside, so I will say trim away the inside since we have these three lines. Then let us see how it will be. So when I say trim away inside, it means that I have to select my boundaries or the perimeter that I'm considering. So I'll select this and this. Then whatever that I'll select now as the third click, the third left click, then we'll be taking away some of these parts. You know why this one delays, or it is not going away, but so far I think you have gotten the idea of the trim away inside and trim away outside. Yes, so the third one, the fifth one is the trim to the closest. How does trim to the closest work? It works almost like the power trim. However, this one you don't have to click and drag. Yes, you don't have to click and drag. So what you do, you just bring it next to that line. To go next to that, next to this, next to this. To just take whatever that is near your cursor, pointer. So I'll demonstrate that very fast using, say, this shape. So assuming I have this, so what I can do here, I can come and say trim entity, then trim to closest. So I'll trim this, I'll trim this. It will take the point as the joint as the next, or as the closest. So whatever that is between there will be trimmed. Yeah, so that has been the video about the trim entity. Hope you've learned something. Please, if you've found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more videos, and also turn on the notification bell so that you can get the notifications straight away whenever I upload a video. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please, you can comment, share, and like. Yeah, we meet again in the next video. Thank you.